September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month, and here to tell us about the significance of this is Sherry Stitt, Executive Director of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Welcome to the show, Sherry. How are you this morning?
Fine, thank you for having us.
I'm excited to chat with you. This was actually one of the organizations that I remember learning about when I was growing up, because there's such a, I want to say popularity, but there's a lot of people involved because a lot of people are affected, especially this month. We want to talk about blood cancer awareness. So let's talk about the organization a little bit. What message do you want to get out there today?
Well, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is the world's largest voluntary health organization dedicated to finding cures for blood cancers. Right now, for most forms of blood cancer, there is no early prevention, there is no early screening, so we must focus on finding cures. And we do that primarily through funding research. You know, since our inception in 1949, we have funded over $1.4 billion in research. That has led to some of the most innovative treatments out there today, like CAR T therapy, immunotherapy, precision medicine, things like that.
Did you say 1949?
Yes, we are celebrating our 70th year.
Wow. I mean, that kind of took me back a little bit. Like, I feel like I knew you had been around a long time. What do you think that means? Do you think it means that a lot of people are affected by blood cancer awareness and people want to help? Or how are you able to raise such awareness within this organization that has kept its longevity? Because I know a lot of organizations sometimes can struggle.
So, well, we were actually founded by a family for families, and we're going back to our roots. You know, it was a family that lost their 16-year-old son to blood cancer in 1944, and unfortunately, it was a hopeless disease back then. And so 1949 is when they started fundraising for research and education. So, and still in 1955, when chemotherapy first came out, it was still 100% fatal. In 1960s, we started having some progress, and we started having survivors. Then we had to start focusing on not only treating the ones currently being affected, but how do we help those that have just survived it? So we started a lot of our patient access programs with support for the families, peer-to-peer support, research, education, professional support, things like that. And then in 1997, we started our Information Resource Center. And this is master's level educated professionals that people can call and ask any questions they have about a blood cancer. If you're newly diagnosed, you've just heard those words, you have cancer, you're a deer in the headlights. You don't know what questions you should be asking. You may not have heard what the doctor said after that, or the doctor may not have explained it in terms that you can understand. We have people who are professionals that can explain all of that. In addition to help them get enrolled in clinical trials, help them with financial aid, and we do a lot of financial aid support as well.
You know, just hearing you talking about how the longevity of it, you've evolved along the way as an organization. Yes. I think that speaks volumes, and be able to have those resources to people. When we do talk about, though, being able to support, being able to give families what they need, even patients what they need, why is it that this month is so key?
We want to remind people that funding for research for all types of cancers is extremely important, and it must continue. But it's also our opportunity to tell people that we are here to help, and we have a lot of resources to help you as well.
I love that you've been able to share some of those resources, and I know the numbers are astounding that you're able to raise. You've almost invested nearly $1.3 billion in research, is that correct?
Correct.
And again, I know a lot of that goes with events. I know you've got some fun events coming up too that you talk about. Anything else you want to throw out there in closing, just to have people kind of keep in the back of their mind so that they too can share their support with your society? So
we have Light the Night coming up on Saturday, November 16th at Julian B. Lane Park. It's a very family-friendly event, a festival-style event that has a walk component, and we have fireworks at the end. They can come and participate in that. We have Man, Woman of the Year campaign, Student of the Year campaign. These are philanthropic competitions for high school students in the Student of the Year campaign, and the student who raises the most money wins a scholarship towards college. We have our Pennies for Patients that takes place in the schools, teaching the kids about blood cancers, giving them some STEM curriculum to go with it. And we have Team in Training where we teach people to do 5Ks, 10Ks, marathons, half marathons, and they fundraise for us along the way. There's a lot of ways to get involved in addition to volunteering or simply make a donation.
Well, you can see at the bottom of your screen, there's the website so that you can go and revisit everything that we chatted about. So nice to meet you today.
You as well. Thank you.